Welcome everyone to Support Desk Live. Let's please, we're going to turn off cameras and unmute for yourselves. So if we could turn our cameras off as we're getting started, I'm just getting everything started for our Support Desk Live session today. This session is streamed into our Facebook group live. We also take this video and we put it out there on our YouTube channel. And we let you know that because if you come on camera, you need to be aware that this is going to be streamed and it's going to be out there. So that's the caveat for you. So how this works is I will give you the ability to turn your camera on and also unmute. You raise your hand. We do this in order. We try to anyway. We try to keep track of the order as you come in. Those people who have their cameras on will be answered first. Those people who choose not to have their cameras on, but will turn on their audio will be answered second. And then for people who don't wish to be on camera or audio at all, we will answer the chat last. Okay, so that's how the process works. And let's see, we already have Roger here with his hand up. Hello, Roger. How are you? Let me see if I'm going to make sure you can now turn your cameras on. So let me put that on. So now you should be able to turn your cameras on. And I will give you the ability, Roger, to unmute there if you would like to speak with me. And
How's that?
and Irene, hello, how are you?
I'm really well. Yeah,
Uh,
sorry to be teacher's pet and get my
that's
hand up.
okay. And let me just really quickly before we get into this, Roger, let everyone that's on know down at the bottom of the screen, there's a little heart that says react. And if you click on that, there should be an option there. When you click on the heart, there's an option down below that says raise hand. That's how you raise your hand to be in the order to have your questions answered. So if you can see that little bit down at the bottom to raise hand. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Welcome in. And what can I help you with?
Okay,
Oh,
can I just make sure you can hear me okay?
yes, I can hear you.
Jolly good, thank you. Now, I don't need to keep you, Ali, but I was came on to this session last week. I don't know if you remember, but I had two very specific questions. One was concerned um, webinars,
Okay.
and that was a very specific thing where let's say I've got some paid advertising with people like Meetup or Eventbrite, and so the webinar is organized through them, and then but I'm using the Zenler built-in Zoom. So I just wanted to make sure that that process was possible and whether you could point me to any tutorial materials or anything that told me how to do that. Now there is some stuff that David's done some really good stuff on this, zooming past your competition and so on. So I'm working through that, but this is a very specific thing. So I wondered if you could, and you said you needed to go and check that out and come back to me. So I wondered if I could just
Yeah,
make sure you've
yeah,
got my email and everything.
email. Yeah, put the email in the chat. And you
Yeah.
basically you're looking to find a workflow that takes you from Eventbrite and into Zenler.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
exactly
I
right.
mean,
And
there's a lot of ways there are a lot of ways to do that, Roger. One of the
Mhm.
things that you want to do when it comes to your workflow and how you're doing things is I find it to be really helpful if you just take a step back because I said that I say this all the time, and so does David. We tend to overcomplicate things sometimes.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes we think we need this piece to work this way and this way and this way. And if we need it to work that way, first you need to ask yourself why you need it to work that specific way. Is that really is that really the hang up? Or is there another way? There's a less friction that you can do it in a different way. So when it comes to running events through Eventbrite and through Zoom, there are certainly a lot of different ways to do that. It just is going to be a matter of you figuring out for you what that workflow process looks like that makes sense for you.
Yeah, and
Um,
I won't make it difficult. I'm not going to try and buck the system. I'll go with your advice and you guys and David and so on. So it's not that I'm trying to be make it too complicated. If I am, then it's my error, and I'll be listening very carefully to get the right.
okay. Okay. Well,
So
let's do you have another question
yes,
around?
it
Mhm.
was, and thank you for asking.
Yes.
It was concerning support. Now, um, what I just alerted you to the fact I'm paying people good money to help me get this course, my course up and running, and that includes people who've got expertise on similar platforms to Zenler, so they really know what they're doing. But then what happens is they need to look at, and one person in particular, but I've got more than one. They need to look at the tutorials, refer to tutorials to check things out. And what's happened is now you don't have a free option, a free subscription option for Zenler. My understanding from your support people, and I've asked them several times, is that you can only get to the tutorials if as an owner of the site,
Right.
not if you've got admin authority. So I'm in a catch-22 where my
Yeah.
model's
Well,
broken.
there's content on when it comes to that kind of stuff. That's a back end. That's a thing you're going to have to figure out a workaround for years. Like I can't change um how the admin and the Zenler site logins and stuff work. So that's not something I can deal with. But um, we do have the Zenler support doc page, which has almost everything that you would need in it. I'm going to go ahead and I'll pop the links into the
Sure.
chat from this. Those
Okay.
are public. Your people should be able to access those with no problem. And then, of course, we do also have the Zenler YouTube channel, which is public. And
Yeah.
every single video that is in the tutorial site on Zenler's site is on our YouTube channel. Every one of them. They may not be in a
Right.
course in a lot of cases, almost on the Zenler site, but they're on Zenler. They're in our Facebook group videos, the answers to questions. So
Okay.
my recommendation while you work with the team on the back end login stuff that I have nothing to do with, in the meantime, you and the people that you've hired should be able to, it's that's the option. The option is you
Lovely.
have support docs that they can access, and there's a lot of them have a YouTube video tutorial attached to those support docs.
Yeah.
They're publicly accessible by anyone. And the same thing with the YouTube channel and the support docs.
Terrific.
So have them go through that and then yeah, that's the workaround for that part. That all that content is publicly available off the Zenler site. So
Okay. Many thanks, and I appreciate your help.
you're very, very welcome, Roger. Thank you so much. All right. Irene, I'm gonna see you to unmute. There you go. And am I saying your name correctly? Is it Irene?
Irene.
Irene. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. I apologize. Irene, fabulous
Hi.
to have you with us today. I apologize for the confusion on coming in and hands up and how that does, but you know where that little bit's at. And when you come in the room, if you do that, then we know.
Hi, Alie. I
Hi.
don't think we've worked together before.
No,
Um,
I have just started back, so it's lovely to meet you.
so I've been struggling with getting on the Authenticator. I was on before, and somehow I'm being asked again to do the Authenticator.
Okay.
And it just, and I just opened it before, and I see at the bottom, if I go to my Authenticator app, at the bottom, it's giving me a few choices. It's saying enter a setup key or scan a QR code. I've never been able to figure out how to scan a code.
Or scan QR code. Usually scan a QR code is with your phone camera. You
Yeah.
know, that's I
And do you
that's
have, okay, but how would I get a setup key?
for your authenticator.
I'm on Google Authenticator, yeah,
Okay.
and it's saying at the bottom, it's saying to see that?
Enter setup key or scan QR code.
Yeah. And how do I get a setup key?
Let's see. I'll find the thing and put it in the I'll look for it and put it in the chat because I'm not sure. I don't have that authenticator set up for myself. Like I said, I just started back. So
I see.
it
You
wasn't a
are not authenticated. Alie, I'm going to tell on you.
I know. I don't, please don't tell on me. It sounds so terrible to say it because I've had, it's a process getting all my framework set back up and there's a lot to do. So, have you tried asking in the Facebook group,
No.
what that is, or even type in the search of the Facebook group? Because that's another, like the Facebook group, people ask questions in there all the time and it's a really great resource for typing in your question. And honestly, all you have to type in the Facebook group search is Authenticator app and see if people have asked the question and if it's come up. And I can actually, maybe I'll share my screen and I'll go into the Facebook group right now and show you and see if we can find an answer together. Okay, can you see my screen?
Um, Now I can.
Okay. Okay, so Facebook group. Okay, here we go. Let me get back to the event or the group, I mean. So in Facebook, let me minimize this out of my way. On desktop, there's a little group search option. So you're not like searching all of Facebook. So what you would search is, am I spelling that right? I'm a terrible speller, y'all. Okay. So we've got,
Why did they ask me to do authentication again? Is what I
I
don't
have
know.
there might
You
have
don't
been
know.
an update in the system. There's technical things that are happening in the back end of the system that I would have no way of knowing what technical thing could have caused that to happen. Um, I have no idea. Did you send a message to support?
I did not.
Okay,
Not
because
yet.
I would do, yeah, I would do that because things that happen if you've done the authentication, this
Yeah.
isn't really like that tech support thing. That's not what support desk is. Um, um,
You can.
it's an educational for Zenler features and where things are and how they work. When it comes to that authenticator app thing, though, if you've already done it and it turned itself off or something happened, that's the kind of issue that you need to send over to the tech support team because there might be something going on in the site. Now, it could be that they're aware of it already and they're like, yeah, we updated the site and we did this, we apologize. So do it again and you shouldn't have a problem. Or it could be you've identified an issue that they weren't aware of and now they can fix it for everybody. You know what I mean? So
Got
I
it.
would definitely do that. And then if it's not a
Okay.
tech issue, again, you can come in here and search an authentication app issues. Like all of these people have asked questions about it, and there's
Okay,
and
I'm
there's
not alone.
and there's comments. I mean, at different times. See, this was in 2023, this is in 2024. Like you literally, you will find inside the Facebook group just typing in those certain keywords. It's not exactly like Google, but
Yeah.
if you type those keywords into the Zenler specific Facebook group, people ask these kind of questions all the time, and you can find some really interesting workarounds, some interesting answers from people that can really help you out in that area. So definitely send a message over to support. And
Okay.
then if it's not a technical issue, then it might be an issue that somebody else has dealt with.
Okay. I have a one other quickie. This is about my background. Um, I I don't I wanted to go back to what I usually do, which is none, no effect. Can you tell me why I'm not being able to do that? Or how to go to my normal background?
On Zoom, on your Zoom session?
Yeah, right now you can see me on a this colored background, and I'd like no background effect. I'd like my normal background. You could stop
Okay.
screen sharing, Allie.
Yeah. I was going to say I can't screen share that part. Um, at the bottom of your Zoom screen,
Yes.
there's the video icon where you can turn on and off your camera. Next to that, there's like a little arrow because there's some settings,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You go in there
I'm
and
there.
you can select the option for choose video filter from that drop down list, and you'll get a pop up box.
Just a second. Choose video filter. Okay.
And now a pop up box should come off on,
Yes.
and it says video filters. You should be able to select none. And then
I
it should,
can't see where none is.
it says video filters. The very first option is a little dark box that says none.
Yes.
Select it, highlight it, tap on it, click it.
It's under video, and under that it says appearance. It has video. Yeah,
Okay, scroll, and then it's going to come to virtual backgrounds.
okay.
Click none.
I've done this before,
See,
and now nothing
when I
happens.
click none, my background goes off. Do you see that? So now I'm
Yeah, but
clicking
it's
on
not
my
working.
background. The
It doesn't
none,
work. None doesn't work.
it's not highlighting it. Select blur. There, that worked when you select blur. Select one of the a different weird background for a minute. There you go. Now select none. Hmm. Um, I don't know. It's Zoom. That's not a Zenler thing. That's a Zoom thing. If it's not this setting right here, you might have to log into your Zoom account on desktop and mess with the settings or send Zoom a message because that's not Zenler. That's inside Zoom. I can't. If
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
background thing doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Sorry.
Okay. Thanks, Allie.
You're very welcome.
Take
Oh,
care.
you too. Let's see. I have Maggie and Brenda with their hands up. I see Maggie first. I'm not sure if that's the correct order, but I'm going to go ahead and ask Maggie to go ahead and mute, and everybody
All
else
right.
can
Thank
mute
you, Alie.
themselves. Hi, how are you?
Good. I
Good.
did my very first webinar
Oh,
Monday,
yay. Good job.
but had some weird sort of glitches.
Okay.
The first one was that I thought it would record right away. Do you have to click record? I wanted the transcript, not the transcript, the cloud recording. So I enabled it, but I
Okay.
had done a practice and you couldn't hear me. So I thought, oh, maybe I have to actually hit record once I go in. And so I'm
No,
just like,
your microphone, I don't know. It might have been something with your audio. I don't know how you exactly set up your thing.
mhm.
But when you go in, when you do a webinar of any kind of live session through the Zenler live area, um, if you have automatic cloud recording turned on, you do not have to hit record once you're inside the session. It records and then it's in your live area under cloud recording. The recording will live there. It takes time for it to process. If there's an audio issue with your recording, your microphone might have been muted. If you tend to do things like I have different microphones. Right now I'm using earbuds. I also have a Yeti mic, right? I have different headsets. And so on your audio, just like on the video I was showing Irini a little moment ago, the audio also has that option to choose which microphone the audio is picking up your voice from. So there might have been a setting wrong with that. There's no way for me to know without having been
Okay.
there, but those are some little things that you can check on your
Okay.
end, that things are set up correctly and test those things out. Um, and then the other option is because it is in Zoom. So there's three things happening, right? There's you, there's Zoom issues, and then there's Zenler. So there's three different places where something could have happened. So the first thing is to check your end to make sure it's not something you've done, because I do it to myself all the time. When I set up this session today, I always run a test on Zoom before I come live. Automatically, 30
Separate,
minutes. Yeah,
totally separate.
totally separate from the session
Okay.
I have. I go set up another session
Hmm.
on a fake site altogether. And I start a Zoom session because I make sure Zoom, because Zoom might need an update. Something might happen. Weird things happen on webinars all the time. So
Exactly.
I give myself the time to test that it worked. Now I did that. And then 10 minutes before this session was going to start, I started and tried to do the thing. My video feed wasn't working. My camera's on, the lights on, everything's on, my camera's chosen. I have no idea. My heart is racing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't stream live with no video. Like, what's happening? And this is 10 minutes before I started. I'm losing my mind. And
Oh,
I still have no idea why it happened. I just went ahead and started the session. I said, well, I'm going to start it without the video. I started playing with the settings, and then all of a sudden the video feed started working. I'm like, okay, we're good. I'm good. I'm good. Like, okay, calm down, take a breath.
right.
I was panicking. So sometimes we don't know why things happen. Sometimes little glitches happen.
Right.
Sometimes they happen because maybe we missed a little step and we weren't diligent enough in our little checklist that we do before we do something. So always check your end first. Make sure you know that you've got your end. And then, of course, you've got Zoom issues, and then you've also got Zenler things that might be
Right.
happening. So then we keep going further there. So hopefully you can figure out what that was.
Okay. The other issue is when I went live, I went in a little early because I wanted to put links to things.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a worksheet that I wanted to be able to say, if you didn't ahead of time, here it is. Well, it's recording me, right? It's recording me doing all these things. So then when I went to look at the recording after the fact, it's like, oh my goodness, is there a way to go in, do that, and it's not recording? I mean, I was talking to someone else who has Zenler, and she said that she goes in and does the different things and then starts record.
On the Zoom session?
Yeah. So once you
Okay.
click,
Yes. Okay. So there's a couple of options that you have in Zoom to record and stop recording when you want to. If you have automatic cloud recording turned on, when you start your session, it's automatically recording. So it is going to record all that stuff. However, at the very top of your screen,
right?
it tells you recording, and there's a
Exactly.
little pause
Mhm.
button. So
I
just
saw that.
go up there and hit pause, do all of your stuff. But
Okay.
here's the caveat: you have
Don't
got
forget.
to remember to turn it back on. If you don't, then you're gonna there's nothing anybody can do about that.
Okay.
If you record things you don't want recorded, you can edit that video to remove the things you don't want.
I did.
But
Okay.
you can't rediscover, you can't go back in time and re-record things you didn't record, but you can remove things you don't want in there. So
Oh, okay.
I'm not, Zenler's not a video editing platform. I'm not here to teach you how to edit videos, but if you have the ability to edit, then you can take those bits out that you don't want to repurpose the video.
Okay.
Like I said, if you're going to use that pause feature, you just have to remember to turn it back on, because if you don't, there's nobody can recover that. It's
Right.
not there. It's because it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, it recorded 4 whole minutes of me just looking around and looking stupid.
See, at the beginning of the video, yes, hit pause when people come on, hit record. Otherwise, the other thing you can do, because it happened right at the beginning of the video, no fancy editing skills needed. You're literally just chopping off those first 4 minutes.
Okay. Where do you do that?
Yeah, all Google. Find Google,
Oh.
Google different apps and softwares and different things. There's a lot of free ones. You upload it, you take the little slider and go chop this first part off, and now we're done.
Okay.
So there's plenty of those. Go find you one of those and do that for that one, and then I don't know, figure out a process that works for you better for the next one. If you trust yourself to hit the record again option, then that's usually the best one.
Okay. But you're saying as long as I have recording to the cloud, as soon as I get on, whether it's early or not, it's starting to record.
It's starting to record. It's recording that 15 minutes ahead of time. So a lot of times, like I start this session 15 minutes early and it records everything. So I turn my camera off. I keep the camera on for a minute to make sure everything's lined up in my stuff. But then I turn my camera off while I'm doing all the little admin things. So it's a black screen and it is recording that.
Okay.
So it's recording, and I make sure to turn my mic off, because I'm doing stuff, today when I couldn't start my video, I was going, I might have said a few curse words, while I was like, why isn't this working? So it's good that I had my mic
off,
muted and the camera off, because my face was rolling, as well. So yeah.
I know that feeling. That's how I was feeling. One other real quick thing that was really weird. There was with the live webinar, you have to go in and manually, I wanted people to be able to interact through chat. You have to enable that. So, because...
Yes, on any of our lives, for anybody who uses the live features in Zenler, there are different types of lives there. Every single webinar feature and live one-to-one booking feature that Zenler offers, the host, you, have complete control over what happens inside that session. You can decide cameras on, cameras off, cameras this, all of that. You can decide
in all of them.
In all of them. However, the reason there's different ones set up is they basically are set up with presets in how they function, because traditionally speaking, a one-to-one booking tend to function this way or have these needs. A live webinar, traditionally speaking, is one presenter, people in the background watching. There's no video, there's no microphones, there's no nothing. That's a traditional webinar. So those features are automatically, and those settings are automatically set in the live webinar feature. The interactive webinar feature has things set up the way that you're talking about. It already allows for the camera to be on. It allows for the microphones to be on and the chat to be active. So on your Zoom screen at the very bottom, there's a little shield and it says host tools. That is your checklist of settings. Okay. So if you choose the interactive webinar feature, all of those settings under host tools have a check mark under them, because it says, yep, this is interactive. We're letting everybody have access to everything. Now, when you get into that session, you may want it to start without everybody having that ability. So because you can start 15 minutes early and nobody's in there, what you can do is click on that little shield, go through that list, uncheck the unmute themselves and uncheck the start video so that the beginning of the session is just you on screen doing the introduction. Then you can come in, click the little shield again, turn on the unmute themselves option and the video sharing option so that people can do that if that's
Okay.
what you would like. So you have complete control. Even if you want interactive webinar, but you accidentally set it up under something else, you can still just click on that little shield, give everybody the permissions you want them to have, and then it functions like an interactive webinar anyway.
Oh, okay. That's
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
One last thing I just remembered, which was crazy. I had people sign up, and some people got a different time. I'm in Eastern time in the
Mhm.
U.S.
Mhm.
I had two other people on. I had somebody from California, but then I had two people or three people later say I tried to log on, but it said the webinar was at 3. It was supposed to be at 1. It was 1 my time. So
I would definitely send a message to support at
okay,
Zenler.com because I have no idea what would have happened in that session. That would have been some sort of technical issue.
yeah, it was weird.
It could have been how you said it, how it was set up. I have no way of knowing that, but
Okay.
definitely send a message to support. We are going to move on now too, because there's a couple other people have their hands up too,
No,
but
that's fine. Thank you.
but you're very welcome. Thank you for being here with us today. Hi, Brenda. I see you there. I am going to let you unmute.
Hi,
Hi.
Alie.
Hi, Brenda.
I'm not sure if I should have put this in a support email or you were available, so I'm just asking you.
That's
Um,
fine.
One of my clients did purchase the $5 spreadsheet guide that we developed a week or two back in January.
Okay.
And but when I met with her, she had questions and she was having a lot of trouble logging in, getting the sheet to work. And it took me all these weeks to finally, and it's because I didn't understand Google Sheets. I really don't even know how to access it. But,
Yep.
I had like 10 copies made on my own computer, and then somebody helped me with it. Like she gave me a link, and I did follow David to change the slug on it to copy, but it wasn't holding over that I could put the link into the course so that my client could access it. So that was one problem. I think I've got it worked out now. I
Yeah,
tried it.
that's definitely something for support at Zenler.com, that part for sure.
Okay. My last thing was that she said sometimes she tries to log into the site, thehorsemartway.ca, and she gets a alert says not a secure site. So I'm thinking to tell her it has to be www dot, or she has to put the whole thing HTTPS colon.
Yes, that's the safe part. Yeah.
Okay, so she's just logging in wrong.
There's a couple of issues that could be going on. I don't know because I don't have access inside your site.
Sure.
So do you have a custom domain set up?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so the first thing I would do is you have to go check through your custom domain that your certificate's good. You have to, that's stuff that we don't have anything to do with. We can't do that. So you have to
Okay.
check that end of it. But,
Okay.
and again, send a message to support because that's a back end, that's a login, that's something that's not an educational thing. This is an educational support session. And those are technical issues that I have no idea how to fix that stuff.
Okay, I totally understand. So I just came to support to figure out where I should be talking.
And I'm fine with that, just so you know. You ask away, and if I can't and it's a support thing, I will guide you in that direction for sure.
Okay, this might be the same area.
Okay.
When she tried to log in, she put her email in, and then she couldn't remember her password, of course, so she forgot password, and they sent a reset link in her email. Now, I can't even remember now if it was through Google Sheets or if it was through Zenler, but I'm just checking generally. It went directly to the site. When she pushed the reset link in the email, must have been from Zenler, it hooked up directly to my site, which I thought was quite odd.
What?
Okay.
It took her into your site to reset her password. But that's where she's supposed to go to reset her
I
password
thought
too.
it would be. So when she was in the site, she couldn't remember her password. She pushed, forgot password. She made the request for a reset link to be emailed to her. When she pressed the reset link that was emailed to her, it went directly to the site instead of resetting a password. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, definitely tech support. Like I would have no idea about that. And
Okay.
here's another thing that I'm just gonna say. We as Zenler users and builders, okay, we're creators, we're users, we're
Right.
builders. We are gonna have issues all the time with the site. And sometimes we're going to go on the hunt and we're going to be like, oh God, I'm such an idiot. It was me. I didn't do this. And then, oh, okay, I got it. And other times it's going to be, oh, that was a tech issue on there. And thank God it wasn't me, because a lot
Right.
of times it is me. Okay. Your customers, your clients, your customers, we love them, we want them, but they are not that smart. Okay.
No.
People have problems. The number of people that don't know to check their spam when they didn't get a thing, it's there. Check that first, then do a thing. But people are like, what do you mean check spam? Like they just don't think of it. Okay.
Right.
So I get you want to create a great experience for your members in your site and in your thing. We want to for you as well. That's why we do things like have these sessions for you
Mm-hmm.
all, because we want to create a good experience for you too. But that's one of the things people, what's the running joke in the tech world? Did you unplug it for 30 seconds and then plug it back in? Like the whole such. So
Okay.
it's not always going to be a Zenler issue. Sometimes it's going to be the person on the other end. It's going to be their issue. We care which issue it is. So that's why it's important for you to send those messages into support at Zenler, because they can let you know if it's a problem where if the issue is a user issue, then they can let you know that. And then for you, then you start looking at how can you onboard your clients? How can you onboard and set up a process that's easier for them, that works for them? What process is better for them if this keeps happening? Because if you have to keep getting messages and you have to keep coming on here to deal with this, and this, that's a lot of friction. That's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of friction.
Mm-hmm.
So reducing friction is the goal. It's
Okay.
always my
So
goal.
simplifying the process, telling them, actually, I went into the little course and I said, when you do this, you'll see this. Then when
Yes.
you click that, this is what you'll see. And I just took
Yeah.
screenshots of the process and hopefully that's going to iron everything out for her. But
Yes.
I did not do the email sales sequence because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm glad I'm not dealing with 50 people with that problem.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm glad
Well,
that you affirmed that.
so you did the pictures, you did the thing. One of the things that you wanna maybe should remember is put that somewhere. Get yourself the spreadsheet, get yourself either chat GTP project to save stuff in, click up whatever thing you use to manage your information, whatever system you have. If you don't have one, get one.
I don't have a
Um,
system.
okay, you need a system. Trust
Okay.
me, you need a system, because here's what's going to happen. A couple weeks from now, you're going to have another member that's going to go through the same issue this one did. So if you have this member's issue all nice and neatly filed in a spot, and you have a system that you're going through, when this person has that issue, it takes you 2 seconds to send them that information without having to find it and stress and cause all that friction. It's even better if you take that information maybe and even put it into the course so
Yes.
that it prevents anyone else from ever having that issue again. So you can use the member's content, the member's issue, to create a new system that gives less friction to members coming in so you don't have to deal with it again.
Okay.
So, find a system, track that stuff, you guys. It's way too difficult to rely on your own memory of where stuff is going to be. You can't
Right.
just put stuff in, all willy-nilly, and give yourself a little space and grace. I do. I'm not 100% right now with all of my systems. I was on sabbatical for a year. I just came back. I'm setting up all my foundations. I'm setting up my systems. Yep, little things are happening, but I'm not going to let them stress me out right now because I'm in the process of building a foundation. Once that foundation is built, I can promise you ain't nothing taking that down. You know what I'm saying? And then work starts to get easier, less friction, less issues with that. Frees up your time and energy, and
Right. Because I know that even
systematize.
myself, when I sign up for something, and if I have to jump through 3 or 4 or 5 loops or hoops to get there, pretty soon I'm really averse to working in that whatever I looked
in that
at.
environment, right?
Yeah.
You're like, it's a pain.
So I could even put, like, once I have that little operating procedure there, if you
Mhm.
run into this problem, I know to send them the link in an email and say, hey, I've worked that out before, follow these steps, just like you guys do, right?
Right.
For
Yes.
Zenler.
And the other thing that you want to think about is it might be not just here's the answer to the problem. It might be maybe I need to rethink the process so that this isn't an issue at all.
Simplify it.
Right. Like a different process altogether. Obviously, this process isn't working if all of your people keep hitting a road bump there and you keep having to find ways to explain it more, explain it better, do this better. That's still a bit of friction. Even if you're educating them, if educating them doesn't work, now you have to look at, okay, how can I streamline this process for them in a way that works for me, that's doable for me, but that also creates a better experience for them. Sometimes you just need to step back and say, okay, what part of this process can I eliminate? What part of it's too much for them? What part of it's too much for me?
So I have a really remedial question about Google Sheets. Like, we got
I'm
that
not,
one. You can't have.
Go ahead and ask, but I'm not this is,
Okay,
Google
so it
Sheets
was a
isn't.
file that Kevin gave us,
Oh,
and
okay.
I downloaded it and made a copy,
Yeah.
and then I put a copy of the copy in my course. So they still have to sign into Google Sheets to access it. They have to have a Gmail account to do that. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm just saying, is there some way I can save that differently, that copy of the copy to send to my clients? Like, can I put it in my own download documents and they can still operate it, or it has to be in the Google Sheets format?
No, it doesn't have to be in the Google Sheets format. You can take that and turn it into a download that's not active, no editing, or take it out of Google Sheets and put it into like um, you can put it into Chat GTP and ask it to create an Excel spreadsheet, and that way it's not in Google Sheets. I don't know if you need it in Google Sheets because it's feeding information through like Zapier or
I
so.
don't
See,
know
I don't
either.
know. Yeah,
I don't
see,
know either.
this isn't. Yeah,
Okay.
this I don't have. Yeah, that's a. I definitely maybe go into Chat GTP or something like that and brainstorm ways to use the Google Sheet or not using the Excel. I don't know how you have your things set up. I don't know why you're using Google Sheet versus Excel or a sheet, but it's just a spreadsheet. And if
Well, I
Google
don't have
Sheets,
Excel for one. I just didn't want to pay
yeah,
for it.
everybody, you should, but see, here's the difference with Google. Um, you have to, even to view it or interact with it, you have to log in and create a Google account. With an Excel
Yes.
sheet, you don't. With an Excel sheet, your members can just open it. They don't have to log into Microsoft to open an Excel sheet. They can just open it,
Okay.
but they won't have to. But they can't if they don't have Excel. then they can't
It's
like
interactive. The sheet is interactive. Like it's coded and everything so that when numbers go in place, it maps out a path.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm thinking that that was hard to get to transfer. So I don't have Excel. So I'm thinking if anybody else doesn't have Excel, they can't operate it anyways. And a PDF didn't look right. He said I could download it as a PDF, but that didn't look functional. Anyways, okay, I'll ask about that.
Just brainstorm ways to make that process easier for yourself and for your customers.
Okay, I will. Thanks for your time on that.
You're very, very welcome. Thanks for joining me today, Brenda.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Hi, Judy. Let's see. Unmute.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I just have two quick questions.
Okay.
So I run 3 types of workshops. Some are online. Love the platform. I've been on for 3 years.
Thank you.
It's actually, it started out as a part-time thing and turned into a full-time thing, and I'm very happy. Nice. But some of my workshops are in person. Okay. And they're planned sometimes more than a year out. I do, equine workshops at different farms where I'm contracting specific types of horses to be photographed.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
But my main thing is actually memorial pet art, which is a whole nother story. But that's what I do online. I teach memorial pet art, how to create photographic paintings and stuff like that. But these far away workshops, okay, like I run a trip to photograph puffins where we're out on a boat in the middle of the ocean. And so
you're so fun.
Yeah, they're scheduled like really far out. So my problem is there's no way on the site to collect what I would call a deposit. So the far away workshops, when I go in to the payment options, there's like a monthly option or a 90-day option. There's no like, I wish there was a way to collect a deposit and custom choose when the final is due. So, like,
here, let me screen share. Let me show you. Cause I love this. I love what you're doing. I love the idea of you doing real in-person workshops,
plus
running the thing through Zenler. Like I love that. It's brilliant. I'm going to get signed in back there because I'm going to have to show somebody.
That's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Here's what I'll tell you. When you run it through, like in my head right now, what I'm thinking about is you're setting up a course to run a workshop that's in person.
Exactly.
So now you've set up the course. Inside, I don't know if you're using the course layout for information or if you've removed the course block.
Nope, because I do Zooms ahead of time.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So my first thought for you would be to go ahead and you have your information. You probably have the directions in there. You've got all the details, where to stay. Yep. Oh God. Amazing. Love it. Okay. So perfect. I love all of that. It's all in there. Then the next thing is when you're setting up the pricing, you could do it membership. They're done in advance. If you do it as a membership and or a payment plan, set up a payment plan.
The problem with the payment plan is it is a very specific structure. It's monthly or bi-quarterly. Like there's no like custom date. So what I've been doing the past 2 years is I have been actually allowing people to inquire about the workshop for free. And then they have a quiz that they have to fill out. So they, tell me a little bit about themselves, because some of these workshops we're sharing an Airbnb and there's only like 8 of us. And, I want to make sure that everybody will get along, Yeah. And so they fill out the inquiry, and then on the inquiry quiz is their phone number. And then I call them to talk to them about this in-person workshop, because some of these workshops are very expensive. So once I get all their information and they're interested in coming, they're in the class because they can technically, you know, like I said, register for free. If they're not interested in going forward, I just remove them. And then I send them an invoice through Stripe. And it's not ideal, right?
Right.
And it's only these kind of quirky, very specific in-person workshops. And I have something I'm putting together for next January. And I wanted to give specific students early access with a deposit. So the only workaround I thought of was set up a class with a set amount that is stated as a deposit. And then those people that are early on registration attendees would then, once I've received their deposit and the full class is set up as a second class, they would receive a coupon for the amount they've already paid. And it would only be available to the set number of people that had already registered. And then if somebody says, I've decided I don't want to go, I just refund them their deposit and take them off. I mean, it's a workaround, and I was hoping there was an easier way.
Yeah. There's certain, I'm sure that there is. And
I mean, the platform's not really meant for this, but
I know, but there's still, I feel you. There's still a way to make it work for you that's less friction for you and less friction for them on that end. Some way to automate at least a little part of that process for you so that you don't have to manually do it every single time. So set up the class.
See, the problem is once somebody's in a class, like you can't make them pay again. So, you know.
Well, see, and I'm not thinking about making them pay again because you're running it through the course. And if you, I'm wondering if you do something with the bundle. I know it's just, it's kind of, I feel a little bit, I would love to brainstorm the heck out of this with you because
sure. Yeah.
It's a great, like, I love the idea of doing the in-person thing and finding that proper funnel through Zenler to be able to.
Well, and the thing is, 90% of these in-person students have taken my online classes. So, you know, when I run an online class, I get usually about 75 to 90 signups. And then from those, these small classes fill out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to like noodle it around and get back
I'm gonna play. Yeah, pop on support desk another because I'm in there. Like I said, I'm getting my foundations and my stuff set up right now in the system, and that's a really great little thing for me to be looking at while I'm in there getting my things set up. And next time you come on support desk, maybe I'll have some fun things for you to play with. And the other option is too, I don't know if you're a chat GTP user, if you use the AI.
I actually teach AI.
Do you? Okay. I want to, it's just, I've got 10 businesses already and I can't add another one right now. Anyway, right now, I'm going to rule the world. I swear. But so I brainstorm those kind of things with chat all the time. I have it open Canvas so that I can, it feels like a back and forth conversation then inside of there to sort of brainstorm and help me wrap my head around what I want to do.
Okay.
Like I know what I want to do sometimes, but I can't articulate it, and chat will sometimes help me get there. It's usually wrong, but in its wrongness, I figure out what's right. And then I tell it, this is it. And it goes, oh yeah. And it makes me feel super, super smart because I'm smarter than the computer brain. No,
sometimes.
Well, I'm smarter than the computer brain when it comes to who I am, what I know, and what I want to do. And so that's how I take my approach with it when I'm using it. I want it to help me do what I want. It's not bossing me around. I'm bossing it around.
Okay. And then I just had now a really simple question.
Yes.
So I have watched every possible video, and again, I did ask chat on how to make the cover photo on the homepage sharper. And it seems like it does fine with graphics if your homepage banner is graphic designed, but if it's photographic, even with different settings in Photoshop to enhance for web and, you know, this, that, and the other thing, it tends to make the photograph that's the background photograph a little soft. And I have friends, other photography friends who have a Zenler platform, and they're all having the same problem. But if you have a graphic illustration type, you know, thing, it's fine. And I'm just trying to have something of my own as that piece up there. And I just wondered if you knew anything about like that problem, because on my regular website, it's fine. You know, like on my portrait website, everything's sharp and clear.
Yeah, it's just the way that the Zenler system handles images. It's one of those things that if that's something that's really important to you, and there's other photography friends of yours that you have that use Zenler, photography is a very specific thing, and you don't want to put your photos in a place that's going to change them in a way.
It does look better on mobile, and I know most people are probably looking at classes and things on mobile anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I sit in front of a huge screen all day, so to me, I'm like, oh, it's blurry, but I know that's not my average, you know, customer. So I just wondered if you had any words.
No, I mean, I'm sure you've done as many little settings, tweaks, and things as you can. Those are the only things I'd be able to talk you through as well.
All right.
The other end of that is send an email to support. And any of the other photographer friends that you have that are using Zenler, if they're having that issue, send that message to support too, because that's a back end, that's an issue with the way we handle those type of images. So yeah, I would do that. And, you know, if enough people need that particular thing fixed, and then that's how they prioritize those odds and ends of things that need to get done, because there's a million of them, odds and ends that always need to be done. So we prioritize those in order of, you know, how many people really need that feature tweaked, you know, and fixed. So definitely.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you. I have to run to another meeting.
Okay, Judy. Well, good luck. And I look forward to seeing you again on support desk.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Patricia, I see you. Let me get your unmuted. Ooh, there we go.
Now, hello, Alie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I have a question because when I create a page and you can duplicate a block, and I try to duplicate one block, but I don't see the block, the other block. I don't know if the block is behind.
You duplicated a block on a page.
Yes, but I don't make it. I press this icon duplicate, but nothing happened.
Okay, then what you need to do is you need to send an email to support@zenler.com. That's a tech support. That's an issue in the back end that I don't have a way to help you with. This is educational support desk. So if you need to know where something's at, or if you need to know how something works, or figure out how to get a funnel set up a certain way or whatever, that's what support desk is for. But if there's a technical issue where something is supposed to work and you press it and it doesn't work, that is very specifically tech support.
I didn't know that it was some wrong. I think I did some wrong.
Yes, a
But
lot of times, yes, absolutely. I think, what am I doing wrong?
yes,
But
and
yes,
then I save as the block as a customer block
okay.
and choose that, and it's working, but not by duplicate. And I have tried several times with several pages to duplicate the block, and before it was okay, but now I can't make it.
Okay, that's
So
definitely something you should definitely send a message to
yes,
support about that.
yes,
You found a way to work around and get the custom block. Very good, because you
very good.
can find
Yes,
the custom block over there. But definitely send a message to support on that, because it shouldn't, that little duplicate, you should be able to hit that
mm,
little
mm,
option and it should duplicate that block. It should be
yes.
there. So if
Before,
it's not there, it's a technical issue in the back that you need to send that to support, because other people might be having that issue too. And so letting them know
okay,
that it's also happening on your site. And
okay,
if you have the ability to screen record,
mm,
record your screen, go through the process in a video recording of clicking it, and so they
okay,
see it doesn't happen, and then send support that video
yes,
so
mm,
they can see
mm,
live. Look, I'm telling you, I'm clicking
mm,
this button, nothing's happening.
yes,
And
yes,
that way they can try to
o-
recreate that and see
okay.
if they can fix
Uh,
it.
Okay, thank you. Because when I press the icon to duplicate, the button that save, it changes the color and ask me to if I want to save. But I can't save because I don't see the block.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I solved the problem. I just wanted to ask
If there
if
is something
it
you could
was
do or
I
do it. Yeah.
to do some. Man,
Yeah.
thank you, Ellen.
You're very, very welcome, Patricia. Appreciate you being here.
Bye bye. I see
Bye.
you.
Bye. See you later. See you later. Okay. So, on this episode of Support Desk Live, we had quite a few questions around uh, the live functionalities inside of Zenler, live workshops when it comes to running events through Eventbrite, running live sessions, and running those through in-person sessions. So lots of questions around the different functionality and features inside the different types of live sessions available inside of Zenler. We were walking through those. And if you have questions around the live features in Zenler and the live workshops and how to run the lives through courses, run them as lead magnets, run them in all different ways to support your business. We have a lot of information available for you throughout Zenler, um, throughout the whole Zenler universe, through the Zenler website, through our YouTube channel, through our Facebook group. There are tutorials and videos and walkthroughs, our support docs on those live webinar features. If that is something that you're using on a regular basis or plan to use on a regular basis while you're building your new Zenler business, then I highly recommend going and looking through that content on which live features offer, which live sessions offer the features that you're the most that are the most important to you, because that's where you're going to start your sessions from. Yes, all the sessions have different features. All of the sessions have the functionality built in where you have the control under the host tools. However, the preset on whether it's a live webinar, a live interactive webinar, a live class, or a one-to-one booking, those basically are that way because they have the presets for you based on the most common uses of the live streaming feature or the live feature, including live streaming. That's just one more aspect of the live feature inside of Zenler. So as to which one is going to be the best for your business, that's going to come down to how you're using it. That's going to come down to you deciding for yourself which of those features are going to be the most useful for you, and using that as your starting point for your live. Because if you want people, as Maggie, when she came in earlier, if you are using the live webinar feature, but you want an interactive webinar, you still have the ability to do that. The difference is a lot more friction for you. If you're setting up a live webinar, you have to go into those host tools then and remember to change all the settings. It's just more work. So figuring out the functionalities that are preset in each of those different live sessions will help you decide which one is going to be the most useful for you moving forward. So that's what I recommend for sure. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and close this session of Support Desk for the week. We will be back next week, same bat place, same bat time. Support Desk sessions start at 11 a.m. EST time zone. And you can come right in here and get your live support questions answered. And I see Roger, you're still here. I don't know if you have a question or if you're just hanging out to learn, because I know I always like to be in the room and learn, just listen and learn as well. So I love that. Okay, everyone, I will see you next Thursday. And I really appreciate all of you who joined me for this session of Live Support Desk. We're going to continue to build and grow this session in different ways based on your need as the users and the members of the platform. So just make sure you're telling us what you need and when you need it so that we can keep track of that and we can extend these sessions and create more sessions based on the needs that you have. And with that, thank you all for being here today, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.